Hey guys, welcome to the analysis for this Thursday. Tons of news happening today. A lot of crazy movement and just more to come most likely. So we're going to jump into some of the major pairs that were affected by the news today, talk about what we might expect as far as following through on those announcements, and hopefully set ourselves up for a great week of trading next week, and perhaps even some possible profit tomorrow for the last day of this week. So that's going to be great. We're going to get into that, and hopefully we're going to give ourselves a great foundation to make some more money. Before we jump into that, let's check our news for tomorrow, which you probably already know what that is, but we'll look over it anyway. So massive news going on tomorrow. Swiss news here, pound news here, more pound, CAD, more CAD down here, and then of course the big one is here, non-farms for the US dollar. So tomorrow should be a rocking day with all of this red tag news. It's gonna be pretty huge. So we already talked about how today the news made the markets move a lot and probably could set us up for some follow through in one direction or the other, and tomorrow will most likely add to whatever is already going on in the market. So we'll keep an eye on that, and then like I said, hopefully based on today and tomorrow's analysis, we'll really be set up for a great week of trading in the second week of September, which I think will provide us with some really good opportunities. Okay, so whatever you do, do not trade without the knowledge of all this news going on. It's going to be huge. Alrighty, next we're going to go ahead and take a look at our terms of service. And we do this just to make sure that you guys understand that this is for educational purposes and that we're not licensed or qualified to provide investment advice. That's not what we do. We're not telling you to risk your money in any way. We're just giving you our take on the market and hopefully setting you up to learn a little bit and make some more educated decisions. Okay? Alright, let's jump into our analysis. The first thing I actually have up is the pound yen. And if you guys watched my analysis yesterday, you're probably laughing because yesterday I said I really wanted to take a long on the pound yen, but I didn't. And you can see that today's bar pretty huge, heading up. The reason I didn't take it yesterday is because this bar just didn't close with a lot of authority. So I lost a little bit of confidence in my long trade possibility. What I like about the pound yen is that this rounding motion really looks nice. It looks like it's actually building consistent momentum that could pull through for a long time to come. Not only is it rounding upward, but it's also coming from a recent upward leg, so it's showing strong momentum to the bullish direction, a consistent pullback, and then a round out to higher highs. So this little shape that we have here, in my opinion, is a great shape for continuation. So I'm thinking that pound yen is going to be a great long. Now, one thing that you should pay attention to is that there's a lot of resistance here. So with the levels here of these previous tails and even in here, and then of course that one, there's some resistance that's standing in the pound yen way. With that said, if it can continue to break through here, maybe do a retest and then continue forward, I still really like the pound yen as a longer term buy. Now, again, of course, news tomorrow is going to affect that. There's a lot of news, including some pound news, so that's probably greatly going to affect what tomorrow's bar looks like. But if we do see some continuation, I am not going to be shy about looking for pound yen longs all the way up past 129 or even 130 as far as my long-term perspective heading up. So that's my take on the pound yen. I'm looking for bullish continuation. If we don't see bullish continuation, if we actually see bearish reversal, then I think there will be some good short opportunities as well, but not as much as long opportunities because I don't think there's as much potential. Shorts are typically going to take us right back into this level, or at best, like into this choppy area here, whereas a long has so much room to soar upward because price is so low at the current moment. So I'm looking for a great long opportunity. Hopefully we'll get some follow through and I'll be able to take that tomorrow with some continuation. Also today, the euro dollar moved somewhat. It didn't really make the impact that some other pairs made, but you do see that we broke out of this little level here to some extent that we talked about. And if you've been following my analysis, I was talking about this level here, which I'm going to pull out of the way now, and that level was broken. This little shape here was broken, and we're now headed towards the top of the trend line. So this will be our next target. I'd say where euro dollar is now, with news coming out tomorrow, it's a little bit iffy, but it's looking like it's at least going to come up and touch this level. And that's pretty much what I'm expecting tomorrow, as euro dollar will get some changing news. But I'm expecting it to at least come up and bounce here. Whether it breaks through here or is rejected, I do not know. But I would be surprised if it didn't come up and touch this top level somewhere in the day. Okay, so that's euro dollar. Now pound dollar is a little bit different, because pound dollar is not really fighting as tight of a channel. It actually broke through the top of this horizontal level today with a lot of consistency, and there's some upward momentum behind it. So pound dollar, I really like the strength in pound. And if we scroll back a little bit here, we can see that pound dollar has a lot of room to go as well. Like I talked about the pound yen, the pound strength could really take these pairs to a much higher level. Now, of course, you have some resistance points. This is one in the pound over here that we see, which corresponds kind of like in this area over here. So that's coming up pretty soon. But that's not like a major level that's standing in the way. That's just kind of one point in history. I wouldn't consider that a major point of resistance. So I think the pound is gearing up for long. We'll see what the news does. It's we had this level here for quite some time. It broke out, it retested, it continued, and I think that it has more room to go, in my personal opinion. So I'll be watching for that as well. Another pair we have is the AUD dollar. Now the AUD dollar is interesting because AUD has been so weak, and we've almost been mocking the Australian dollar in the way it's fallen against almost every other pair. But we see that today, with the news, it's made quite a bounce back, and it is off a previous level, not a major level. But if I draw the line here, you can see that it does correspond with this tail here, where we had a pullback and then a jump. So we could see something of the like with today's news propelling pound forward. Whether that is the case, and just because of some news today, AUD is now going to get a burst of strength, I don't know. I don't necessarily buy into that, but AUD does have the potential to be very strong. And do not forget that tonight AUD's going to release interest rates, so that could tell us right there. I mean, with more news tonight, our daily bar for tomorrow could be all the way up here by the time the New York session starts, before the news even comes out. So could be a massive day for AUD. If we get good AUD news tonight and then bad dollar news tomorrow, we could have just an incredible daily bar for AUD that stretches all the way up to these higher prices and almost gets us all the way back here just in one daily bar. So that's a possibility. I'm not necessarily expecting that. What could happen, besides obviously a continuation up, is actually a break right back down, where we have kind of a twin tower bar setup heading back down in this direction, and that, of course, we would maybe retarget these really low lows if we do see that. So a lot of potential for the AUD dollar. It's going to come down to what the news says and what price action looks like at the end of the day. Be sure to tune into the analysis to see that, because it could be pretty interesting. Okay, another pair is the US yen. Now, the US yen, we've talked about, has been in this really boring channel for a while, and it kind of broke out today. Looks like price could still close above the top of this channel, but it didn't break out by much. Now, again, more news coming out tomorrow. If the news does, continue this and it breaks fully out, then maybe we'll be looking for some continuation longs up into these higher prices. Again, that's not necessarily what I'm expecting, but I think that is a very real possibility, at least for it to come up and test this little high that it made last time it broke out. So I definitely think that's a possibility. Okay, let's look at the Pound New Zealand as our last pair today. Pound New Zealand is always a fun pair to look at because of the movement that we always talk about. Now, Pound New Zealand, has been on a tear, as we know, to the upside recently. However, as the AUD in New Zealand gained a ton of strength today, we do see a reversal bar that happened today. Now, it didn't close super strong. You can see that there's a little bit of retrace at the end of the day. However, that doesn't mean that tomorrow's not going to absolutely have a pounding bearish day, which I would not be surprised if that happens. So, as far as the pound New Zealand's concerned, I'm kind of expecting this reversal to be legit and send us flying back down, even though I am looking for pound strength in some other way. So one thing I might consider is a pound yen long or a pound dollar long in combination with a pound New Zealand short to kind of keep me hedged and protected. That's one thing that is an idea for me as far as trading is concerned. So that's some of the stuff that I'm looking at the analysis today. I think that we'll have a lot more clarification tomorrow, and I'll be looking for that certainly by the end of the day tomorrow. So tune into the analysis. We'll get prepared for the next week of trading, our second week of trading for September, and I think it's going to be a big profitable week for all of us here at Winner's Edge, and those of you following us at home. I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's going to be a good week of trading. Okay. So thanks for checking this out. Leave any comments or thoughts below as usual, and I'll get back to those. Talk to you guys soon, and have a great day.